After the phalanx fight, I like to do a little bit of prep work before I go into Stonefang Tunnel, or as it's called in the remaster, the Smithing Grounds, World 2-1. I like to actually go into the Depraved Chasm here and pick up the Blessed Mace +1. It's not our in-game weapon. It's just something that I like to use early on, basically to do a bit more damage to enemies that are armored, which we're going to be running into in the Smithing Grounds. Getting this mace early is a bit risky, especially if you're a new player. But to do so, just go to the Depraved Chasm and slowly just work the path that I'm going down. This place is known as a hellhole for new players. If you haven't spent your souls before you do this, you may as well do it. I didn't here, but I'm more comfortable playing the PS3 version and also this one when it came out. But if you're not comfortable with this area, just take your time through it. You can easily get swarmed by enemies. They have an annoying moveset. They seem to come out of nowhere, like seen just there. But I think the scariest thing from these guys, in my opinion, is a small rush attack that you'll see happen quite a bit. It can do a lot of knockback, aka knocking you off the ledge, and it can also do a lot of damage if you're not prepped for it. So just take your time through this area. Keep your shield up pretty much the entire time. Take it slow. You'll even notice as I'm going through this area, I'm going slow, and I'm comfortable with this area. So, like I said, take your time. The Blessed Mace +1, like I said, it's not going to be an in-game item or anything that we use way later on, but it's very helpful early on in the game. It even gives you a regen effect, so it can help you start to stockpile a little bit of grass. If you're running low on grass, regen can give you a bank of grass like so easily. I decided for this playthrough, I'm actually going to be doing a Faith build, which I suggest for new players as well. Faith is very easy to... It's very easy to make mistakes and not have it punish you with death, basically. I do consider Mage build and Faith build probably two of the easiest PvE things to do. For PvP, obviously, there's a plethora of different builds out there for you, but Faith does okay in PvP. If you use the Mirrodin Hammer, which is what we will be using, it's great for PvE and PvP. But like I said, this is just a little bit of prep work. You can also pick up a few items on the way here that you will be using later on. If you manage to find some black pine resin off of some of these enemies here, hang on to that for the first boss of when we do the boss here. We're not going to currently be doing that. We're just, like I said, we're working our way down to get the Blessed Mace, and then we'll move on with the continuation of the guide. You can see the enemies here are quite weak to fire. That's why I use a little bit of this excess pine resin that I have. This area in particular where you drop down and there's like a lit up area with a ladder, sometimes the enemies can kind of group up here. So you want to wipe them out as much as possible. You can make this jump. It looks a little scary. And again, enemies do pile up here, which is why I'm using pine resin just to be safe. You have to be pretty careful not to get knocked off the ledge here. Now, you will see a crystal lizard. Don't chase it. Don't worry about it. Chasing that crystal lizard right now, it's not suicide, but it can be dangerous. Multiple enemies get up off of the ground, jump up, or jump down from above. You'll see this giant tick here. If you use fire on your weapon, they actually won't explode and give you poison. And now we have our Blessed Mace +1. That is something that we're going to be using a lot of coming up. Now, you may be asking yourself after we get this, like, okay, well, how do we get out of here? Well, if you continue on just a little bit further and make sure to keep your health up, there is a big group of rats that we're going to be killing that have a high drop rate of arc stones. And I've never killed the full group and not gotten an arc stone from them. An arc stone allows you to transport back to the Nexus. So that's going to be our ticket out of here. If you've spent your souls already, you could use the Nexus binding to get out, because you probably won't have that many souls to begin with. Because these guys only give you, like, what, 13 souls per kill? Not much at all. It's a pittance at this point. But yes, as you can read here, the Blessed Mace will give you a regen effect. Good at breaking shielded enemies and things like that. Honestly, in my opinion, the mace is only useful for a handful of fights. The crushing damage itself is great. The regen is great. Other than that, the weapon lacks range. The moveset's pretty dope. I mean, when you get a backstab with this thing, oh mama, feels good. But going through this fog door right here is where you'll find this group of rats. They will give you plague if they hit you, and they probably will hit you. Don't worry about it. Plague isn't like it is in Dark Souls. Like, plague was a legitimate killer. Here, it weakens your health. There's an Archstone shard right there. It will weaken your grass regen effect, or your grass healing effect, and also apply a DOT. But if you got an Archstone, just go ahead and use one and get out of here, and that's where we're going to pick up. Right after we leave this place, we're going straight to the smithing grounds. Now, one of the first things you want to do when you zone into the smithing grounds, just go ahead and two-hand your weapon and get ready to kill a lizard. There's a lizard to your left as soon as you top these stairs here. Just full charge, run over there, beat it down, get your reward. The way crystal lizards work in this game, they have basically one life per boss kill that you do in this game, per stage. So, like that lizard we just killed right there, it won't respawn until we kill a boss in this level. Once we kill the boss, it will respawn here. If you miss it, if you don't kill it, it'll be there as many times as it shows up until you kill it. So that's how lizards work in this game. There's another NPC right here you'll find. It could be useful sometime later to buy hardstone shards or sharpstone shards, depending on what you need. I generally stay away from NPCs, though, in this game. They're kind of a ripoff.
Don't you agree?
This stage is pretty simplistic. There's not much of a maze-like thing going on in this world. You have to watch these guys chunking rocks. Pretty simple. Just keep an eye on them. The hit on these rocks actually lasts throughout quite a bit of the rock breaking animation. So take your time. You're about to see why we ended up going to get the Blessed Mace pretty soon. These enemies, if you have a slashing type damage, it can take up to like 8+ swings to get a kill on these things, or the miners that we fight. But with a mace, it only takes about 2 to 3, if that. You can do a backstab and kill them straight up. This is the first time we run into a fat official. These guys are kind of a pain in the ass because they do have super armor through certain hits. They have a bit of health, and their fire attacks actually do quite a bit of damage. Just do some hit and run tactics. When you see them charging up a spell, typically, if you're a night class, you can just put up your shield. Put up your shield and just run to the left or to the right if you can. We weren't able to there because of the miner that showed up. But getting backstabs and then an extra 1, 2, 3 hits and then backing up for stamina regen is a valid strategy. Going to the very top of this elevator will get us a Crushing Battle Axe +1. Crushing is for strength builds, and it does a slashing or a normal type damage. Not very good for the mines, currently. We will be using this crushing battle axe a little bit later on for a specific fight. But it's generally not that good. It's around the same class as the mace. It just doesn't really have the range that we're looking for. And of course, since it's crushing in a strength build, we're not going to be doing that in this playthrough. The good thing about crushing, though, as opposed to blessed gives you a regen effect. Crushing doesn't, but you can buff crushing weapons with resin. So that kind of makes it pretty helpful. Or a cursed weapon later in the game if you decide to go that route. At the bottom of the elevator, there is a body here we can loot before we get back up on the elevator. And now we're back to where we basically started. Here you're going to notice a lot of miners. A lot of different types of miners. Most of them won't even be paying attention to you, but there's 3 types. There's the bare-fisted ones. There's the pickaxe-using miners, which will aggro you and come at you. And good God, the backstab animations are so good in this game. And then there's miners with a bag. The miners with the bag they're carrying around a little like bag of rocks, basically. Those don't respawn, but they also, when you kill them, drop a lot of shards. So they're very handy to clear out. Take your time, clear every single enemy that you can, just to kind of stay safe, especially if you're new to the game. Be safe, not sorry. You want to be very careful about approaching those pots that I'm staring at right there. There are actually 3 dogs, I think 3, that will bust through that and try to swarm you. There's also another fat official that we're going to run into behind them. Just take your time through this area. Kill everything off before you aggro the dogs, just to be safe. You can see there's one miner here with his little purse bag of rocks. And you can see that it drops a lot of sharp stone, hard stone. The dogs will bust out, jump at you, and basically just be brave. Swing at them. Dogs will do a lot of hit and run on characters, and that can be just frustrating to deal with. Like I said, just kind of, I don't know where that guy went through the rocks, but okay. Just take your time with the dogs, though. If they come at you, shield block and then counterattack right after. This fat official's in an annoying spot. You can't really go around behind him. So just get some pop shots off. Back up. From Software was very tricky with the enemies in this mine, or in this area in particular. A lot of, how do I put it? A lot of enemies just around the corner. So, again, a general rule of thumb, if you don't know what's in front of you, or you don't know what's to come, keep your shield up every time. This guy's generally not here, the guy with the pickaxe. He is right after this next area, directly to your right. Well, no, this is a different guy. I don't know. That other pickaxe guy came from space. Who knows? Like I said, keep your shield up. There's miners that can get free swings on you everywhere in here. And the bonus to prepping with the Blessed Mace. If you do happen to get pop shotted, you can actually just stand there for a little bit and get your health back instead of wasting grass. The green grass that we have is kind of useless, but you never want to be completely out of grass. There's a fat official right here. The way to cross this bridge is to stay on the left side. The rest of the bridge actually falls apart, but the beams on the left side you can actually traverse. So you want to hold your shield up and just charge. You can roll that fireball that he sometimes shoots at you or not. If you keep your shield up, it shouldn't knock you off. You're rewarded with a renowned hero soul, and Fatty is now down below. Here, I was trying to kill the official before aggroing any of these guys, but as you can see, I failed. Just take your time with everything. Go around for a backstab. We know we can two-shot the miner, so they're not really that scary, but if they do so happen to land a hit on you, and the fat official hits you with a fireball, then it hurts. The miners themselves, not too much of a problem, though. We'll notice a lever over here. The lever will give us access to the next area that we need to go to. Few more guys to clear out. Get some of those satisfaction backstabs here. The backstabs are actually really impressive. They're different, as shown right there. Doing a two-handed backstab or a one-handed backstab. Blue Point did an amazing job. These things look absolutely brutal. There's one more item here in the back that we're going to go snag, and a few more miners to kill. I think there's one with a sack as well that we want to kill. And there he is. Just drop down, snag this soul, and start working your way back up. And we will continue on. We've pretty much looted everything there is in this area. Or we're going to run into a fog door. It's a bunch of fog doors are just connecting levels. They're not really bosses. I know a lot of Souls players see a fog door and they're instantly like, oh god, a boss. But not here. Not every time. We're going to start running into a new enemy. These little magma lizards. They do hurt if you're not careful. The lizards can actually swarm you and kill you in certain areas. Just be wary of them. Knock them out with 2 swings of the mace. Stay away from them when you see them rearing back. They're not too difficult to deal with. Here we're going to run into them on the wall quite a bit. Once you get close to them, they will drop down. If they touch you, they will burn you. But as you can see, the damage is really negligible. It's only when they rear back and swing and hit you that you take some real damage. Here we're going to run into a new type of miner. And as we can see, the magma bath is here. The new type of miner, they have basically fire pokers. They're still just as easy to kill as the other miners, but they do a bit more damage, so be careful. It's no crazy damage like a one-shot, but, you know, damage is damage. It hurts. After this fog door, we're going to not go through it. We're going to go through this destructible debris and unlock our first shortcut of this area. Now, if you're lucky, these miners with a sledgehammer actually have a chance to drop a weapon that we're looking for. A Murden hammer. I think I'm saying the name of that weapon correctly. They also, there's enemies here that drop a lot of shards as well. But the Murden hammer is something that we're going to be picking up later on. But if you get lucky and get one here, you can just start using it right off the bat. Typically, you want to two-hand it. I personally don't like the one-handed swings of the Murden hammer, but the two-handed version swings are really nice. We're going to pull this lever, and this is going to do 2 things. One, it, well, activates the ladder and gives us a shortcut. But 2, it unlocks a very special fellow. Also, side note, be very careful with this ladder or this elevator. You can actually kill yourself here by not being careful. Take your time with it. Don't jump too far down. You'll be all right. But here's our new friend.
I haven't seen you around these parts. What does it matter? You need a blacksmith? Show me your steel. If not, head straight for the door.
A blacksmith Ed isn't too useful at the start. You may not notice, like, he doesn't have anything really special he can do. You can upgrade your blessed and your crushed weapons, but he really starts to shine after we defeat the second boss of this area. You can give him that soul, and then you can really start to see the differences between the two blacksmiths. We'll be using Ed quite a bit. Pretty much once you unlock Ed, you're only going to use him. So, after talking to Ed, grabbing that soul and back, head back up the elevator, and we're going to continue on where that fog wall was. Again, keep your shield up. You're going to see why. Right around the corner, there's a jerk with a pickaxe. So, in this room, you're going to run into a lot of miners. All you got to do, take them out one by one. It's kind of the story of this game. Take everything out one by one when you can. Now, this next area, we're going to have some choices to make. I'm going to show you guys how to get these items right here. You see the planks? Run. Hold down circle and run across them. That's how you end up getting these items. If you do a slow walk, the planks will actually give way and drop you down. I don't think you die from that, but you take a bit of fall damage. You get a great club and some souls from it. Nothing too special. And I see we have a friend. But yeah, if you walk by, I don't think you're able to pick up those weapons. I'm not sure if the planks respawn. I don't think they do. So again, if you see the area with the planks right there, just charge across it. YOLO. After that, you're going to be wandering and moseying your way back up to where you were. You got 2 choices to make here. You can go left and kill a crystal lizard right outside this door, or you can go to the right and destroy some barrels. That's the way we're going to go, but this lizard drops spider stone things, which is handy for like bows and whatnot. Gives you a little extra damage. If you're going dragon hunting, you know you're going to want your bows upgraded. Once you kill the lizard, you don't actually have to loot him just yet. Just go around here, blow up these barrels, roll into these barrels. I'm sorry, don't blow them up. Make your way above, pick up some souls, and also a steel shield at the very end here. I don't personally like the steel shield, but I have seen a lot of players online using it. After that, you can come up behind all of these miners that are blocking your path and just kind of take them out little by little. And take your time. Make sure you don't get swarmed. And once they're dealt with, you can go loot your lizard. Or your gecko. I'm sorry. I think they're called geckos in this game. This area right here is a fairly dangerous noob trap. Just be wary. These lizards do drop down. They do hurt. So be careful about them. If they get that attack off, it hurts. But there's also dogs, which you will see wandering up towards you. If you miss a swing, just run back on these lizards. Because if you get hit with them, like I said, it does not feel good. As you can see, there's dogs trying to wander their way up here. If you get swarmed with dogs and lizards, just try your best to run backwards and bait them out one by one. You want to go around this entire little pillar here just to make sure you wipe out all these lizards. You don't want one sneaking up behind you. As slow as they are, they can still be sneaky. There should be probably about one more dog here, I think. And as you can see, they're very annoying to fight. You kind of wait for them, and then they wait for you. Like I said, just be patient with the dogs. Wander back. There is an item laid out here that you can pick up. Edge sharpening stone. I generally don't use repair tools outside of blacksmiths repairing my gear, but hey, you're in the middle of a fight, middle of a dungeon you need to repair, there you go. Those are what those sharpening stones are for. As you make your way down, there's a bigger group of miners here. The pickaxe guys, like I said, will aggro you, so take them out first. They're not much trouble one-on-one. Like I said, it's when you get swarmed is the bigger issue in this game. There's also one guy with a purse here full of rocks. We're going to kill him. Take that glory. And while you're here, you are going to unlock the next path. Pull this little, or turn this wheel. We're going to shut down the lava bath. So if you remember the giant lava bath area that we seen earlier, now that is traversable, unlocking a new path for us, and we are getting closer and closer to the boss here. Work your way back up the steps here. Mosey on over to where we first ran into the fire poker guys, and just before them, voila, shinies. A little bit of grass, some stones, and a poison resist ring. Poison resist actually isn't too terrible. I don't know. I don't really use it that much. I think I forgot to go over my stats that I allocated before this fight. I will post it in the description below. I did level up. I basically spent the souls from Phalanx and the few bits of souls that we got during the prep on a little bit of vitality and endurance. Here we see a fat official blowing up barrels. You don't want to be in the middle of that. That is, well, it's trouble. Also, as you can see right there, I thought the fire was done. It was not. Take your time. That's all I can say. Keep taking your time, because damage is real here. This fat official, you can actually squeeze in behind him and get a backstab off where he currently stands. So if you can do that, do that. If not, don't worry about it. Take your time, get a few swings in here and there, back up, play it safe. Make sure you're not near a barrel when he's shooting fire, though. That's your number one goal here. Once he's taken care of and standing. Go through the fog gate. Check to the right. Pick you up some ephemeral eyes. And we are going to mosey ourselves on up here and collect a few more items. Watch for falling rocks. As you can see, I think you guys know what type of boss we're about to run into. That enemy that just jumped down with a poker will throw one rock at you. If you wait him out, he obviously drops down. You can get an easy kill on him. And in this area right here, there is a crisp blade that we can get. If you are a caster, this will increase your damage by, I believe, 20%, but you take 20% more magic damage. I'm not a magic user. I play through Demon Souls games, so I don't really know too much about it. It's 20 or 30% though. You guys will have to Google that one. But pick up your crisp blade, pick up your spider stone, and turn the handle. At the bottom here, there's only one more item to grab, and then we gotta basically get prepped up for a boss fight. The boss of this area isn't really too difficult, but I am saving all of my boss videos for a montage. So look forward to that. I'll get it done shortly after I get all of the level run-throughs down. I'll get that posted up for strategies and whatnot for every boss. But with that, 2-1 is down, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you all on the next one.